Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, before we jump into the topics, I just want to wish each and every one of you a very, very happy Friday, for one, a weekend upcoming. And Thanksgiving, guys, is only 2 weeks away from yesterday. Man, this 2024 year has gone by fast. Gone by fast, guys. We have a lot of topics to dive into. Broncos very important game this Sunday at Empower Field at Mile High against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll get into that too as well. But just hope each and every one of you had a fantastic week. And thanks so much for dropping in, for checking out the show, watching the show, listening to the show, wherever you may be. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, and that lets everybody know how much you enjoy the show, and it means a tremendous amount to the MHRT network as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. All right, let me put up the topics, and let's get rolling, guys. Let's get rolling. All right. First off, if you notice right below my name right here, it says gut-wrenching loss. Yes, this recap of the Broncos-Chiefs game was gut-wrenching. And I know that I wasn't the only one in Broncos country that was in shock, disbelief, lack of words, just stunned, absolutely stunned. But it happened. In case you guys missed it somehow, some way, Broncos lost to the Chiefs 16-14 last Sunday. It came down to a Broncos field goal attempt at 35 yards. It was blocked. We'll get into that whole thing with Alex Forsyth in just a couple of topics. But gut-wrenching, heartfelt, deep agony. I know I felt it, and I know that it had to just have ripples across the Rocky Mountains. Let me recap this. And I could go into that ugly situation where it was a blocked field goal. We all just had nothing to say on the neighborhood. Mundungus, Creevy, and myself in the neighborhood was like stunned. Nothing for us to say. What can you say? Seriously. So once I got past that, and started talking to people and talking to Bronco fans, analyzing some things, reading some things, going over things in my head. You know what? That play's done. There's nothing you can do about it, obviously. Okay? But here's what I'm going to take away from it. That Bronco team showed me a lot. Bo Nix went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. Nix and Bonitto, which I'll get into too, had a career game. Incredible game. PJ Locke held his own. Pat Surtain held his own. They held the Chiefs to just 14 points on touchdowns. Excuse me. No, one touchdown and 3 field goals. Yeah, just one touchdown and 3 field goals. All right. The Broncos led 14-3 at one point in the first half. Couldn't score any points in the second half, but they scored 14 in the first half. Bo Nix was Bo Nix. He's getting better each and every week. I'll get into some Bo Nix stuff. If you look down the list, right, I go right over here. Look down the list right over here. You'll see everything from top to bottom. And we'll get into all that, guys. Give me your comments in the chat. I'll definitely bring them up. Really do appreciate it. So that being said, the Broncos held their own. The defense was solid. I mean, there were some plays, obviously, that, Patrick Mahomes is going to make. I mean, he's Patrick Mahomes. There was some phantom calls. There were some questionable calls by the referees. But what it really came down to was the ineptness of Alex Forsyth to hold his own. Like I said, we'll get into that. But overall, looking back, hindsight 2020, just like we lost the Dolphins last year, 70-20, it's only one game, guys. It's only one game. Okay. Yes, this one stings a lot more than a 70-20 loss. When you lose by 50, you're like, we never were in the game. But the Broncos had this game. We did everything we possibly could to get in position to win this game. And it came down to one player. And that's what stings. That's what hurts. That's what no one ever expected. No one ever anticipated. It was perfectly set up and didn't end the way we wanted to. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's move on. That was that game. Bo Nix was fantastic. Nix Bonitto was outstanding. Andrick Estime was amazing. Cortland Sutton, the touchdown catch in the end zone, obviously in the end zone. Great pass by Bo Nix. He made some fantastic plays. Defense was solid. Like I said, just came down to that one play, and that one play hurt. All right, well, let's move on. All right, let's move on to topic number 2, which is in the same highlighted area. It's number 2. It's called the closest to a win, and this is why I'm so pumped up about the Broncos. I'm pumped up about the Broncos every year. But the way Bo Nix is playing, and I know, guys, I've said at the beginning of the year, I had my doubts because the Broncos in drafted quarterbacks had never been really that good. Brock Osweiler, although he held his own in the year that they won Super Bowl 50. Then you got Drew Lock, he was a bust, and then you had others. So I'm skeptical, but I'm believing now. I'm really, really starting to understand and believe that, okay, Bo Nix is a real guy. Okay, here we go. The Kansas City Chiefs, through 10 games, are 9-0 with a bye, hence the 10th week. Of those 9 wins, Denver has been the closest of 6 of those 9. Kansas City has played the Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, Chargers, 49ers, and Buccaneers. No team has come closer to beating the Chiefs than the Broncos. Also, the Broncos did that in Kansas City. Now, let me go back to those games, those teams. Ravens, oh yeah, they beat the Ravens, but the Ravens are a good team. Ravens are a really good team. Bengals, okay, not so much, maybe on the even playing field of Kansas City. Falcons, no. Falcons are not in the same league as the Chiefs. Chargers, not in the same league as the Chiefs. 49ers, well, apparently the Chiefs own the 49ers because they've beaten them multiple times in the last several years. And then the Buccaneers. Well, the Buccaneers are not that good. So really the only hardest team, the only couple hard teams that the Chiefs played of those 6 were the Ravens and the 49ers, I would say. Ravens and 49ers. But if you want to take the 49ers out of it, okay, just make it the Ravens. But the Broncos still played them the toughest. The Broncos had a chance to win in the end, which these other 6 teams never had. They never had a chance to win with possession at the last. The Broncos did. And that's why the Broncos have played the Chiefs the toughest. Yes, they lost. And it still stings. Yes, they lost, but it's only one loss. We faced the Chiefs the very last game of the season. Wouldn't it be sweet to get revenge, to knock the Chiefs somehow, some way out of a higher seed or whatever, or even vault the Broncos into the playoffs? That'd be even better. That would be even better. Absolutely. All right, let's go on to the second topic, and that is called the playoff spot. Here it is. Even though the Broncos lost to the Chiefs this past Sunday, Denver still remains in the 7th and last playoff spot because the Colts and the Bengals also lost. Denver has no margin for error or losses with 7 games left, no doubt. The Broncos have to start running the table. We have 3 games left before the bye, starting with the Falcons this coming Sunday. Then we play the Raiders, and then we play the Colts, I believe. Let me check what I have here real quick, guys. So, yeah, we have the Falcons, Raiders. Oh, Falcons, Raiders, and Browns the next 3 games. Okay? So, and then we go into our bye, and then we play the Colts, Chargers, Bengals, and Chiefs. That's going to be a tough stretch. It's going to be a tough stretch. I'll get into some of this when it goes down the list where it talks about my predictions. But Falcons, Raiders, and Browns, those are definitely doable wins. But we've had doable wins earlier in the season. We should have beaten the Steelers, and we didn't. So there are doable wins out there. It's just, are the Broncos going to get those doable wins? Or are we going to, take, such and such for granted, or such and such a team for granted? I don't know. But it's there for the taking. And first things first, if you look down again below my name, it started out by saying gut-wrenching loss. We already talked about that. It also says bring on Atlanta. Yes, we will get into that. The very last topic, definitely bring on the Falcons. I think the Broncos have a really good chance of beating them. But, hey, we had a really good chance of beating Pittsburgh, too, and just didn't do it. All right? Now, this is another a two-spot A and B, so to speak, of topics. This is under the headline Sean Payton. This one is about Bo Nix. Here we go. Last Sunday at Arrowhead, Bo Nix had one of his best games of his rookie season. No doubt about it. Sean Payton took note of that and had this to say about Bo Nix. I'm impressed with Nix, even in the loss. He's gutsy and poised during the entire game, end quote. Wow, that's high praise. Because Bo Nix, we look at him and we think, man, he doesn't look like a rookie. He doesn't look like somebody that, just came out of college. Doesn't look like that. But Bo Nix is still a rookie, but he is putting up impressive numbers. Very, very impressive numbers. Let me continue. Nix was 22 of 30 for 215 yards and a passer rating of 115.3 against the Chiefs defense. Wow. That is huge, guys. That is huge. For a rookie, go back and look up other rookies that are playing in the NFL from this past year's draft. They're not going to equal that too often. 115.3? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Caleb Williams doesn't look that good. He really doesn't. But, Bo Nix, and everybody said he was the most prepared to be, an NFL starter, and he has proven to be that. But this even exceeds my expectations. I never saw this. I mean, everybody touted John Elway when he came out of college and was traded eventually by the Indianapolis Colts to the Broncos. Everybody expected him to be all-world, and it took him a good year or two, good couple of years to really fill in. Bo Nix is blowing the doors off of that. He's exceeding that. All right, let's go into part 2, where where Sean Payton talks about Nick Bonitto and his performance against the Chiefs. Here we go. Nick Bonitto had the best game of his entire NFL career. Sean Payton said about Bonitto, and I quote, "He certainly made the leap. He's getting more snaps. He's getting more pass rush snaps. I think the key for Nick was playing the run and running at him. He's at the right weight now. What he wants to do and how to set somebody up has really helped the Broncos tremendously. End quote. Bonitto tallied 6 pressures, 2 hits, 3 hurries, and 1 sack of Patrick Mahomes. It might be time to start thinking of a new contract for Nick Bonitto. I totally agree. You cannot let this guy walk. I know he's got another year under his belt, with his contract. You cannot let this guy go. You cannot let this guy go. I don't care what it is. I mean, what he's racking up in ability at linebacker and just to do what he's doing, and against a team like the Chiefs, who Patrick Mahomes is very elusive, but the Broncos got 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes this past Sunday. Should have had 5, but there was a phantom call the referees called against Denver, and it gave the Chiefs a first down. Should have been 5, but it was 4. Still 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes, who's very elusive. I mean, that's amazing. And Nick Bonitto is right there in the mix. No doubt about it, right there in the mix. And I say, do whatever you have to do to lock him up. Because if you don't, and he goes to another team, that's gonna be catastrophic. That's gonna be catastrophic if we ever lose Nick Bonitto. That is not gonna be good. Not be good at all. Madungus Creevy is in chat. What do you mean eat my shorts, man? What the heck is that about? Huh? Probably too cold where you are. You ain't got no shorts on. And I ain't eating nothing else. Don't even go. See, you just come in the chat and everything changes, dude. The whole show just goes. It's crazy. You jump in the show, in the chat, and of course I make my comments, and then of course that's what happens because I make my comments. So anyway, eat my short. Where'd that come from? I have no idea where that came from. All right. The Kansas City Chiefs did something that they did their homework. Put it that way. They did their homework. Their scouting team did their homework, and it all came down to one play. And that one play, it was basically all the chips into the table. One play, one shot, one opportunity, like Eminem says, and it produced dividends for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here it is. Broncos country was shocked when the game-winning potential field goal was blocked. However, the Chiefs knew something regarding Alex Forsyth. Chiefs linebacker Leo Chanel said, and I quote, "The earlier field goal attempts and extra points showed that Forsyth was light on his feet and the bull rush would work," end quote. So let me paint this picture for you. So Alex Forsyth is lined up on the left side of the line on field goal range, extra point, whatever it is, or not field goal range, field goal attempt, extra point attempt. Line up on the left side. He's flat-footed. He's not lined up properly to take on a hard rush. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs saw this in game film. They saw this during the game on the Broncos' 2 extra points for the 2 touchdowns and the 60-yard field goal attempt that was short and ultimately returned but stopped. That showed the Chiefs that Forsyth is flat-footed, isn't in position to block a potential bull rush. So the Chiefs on the sideline schemed a way that if there was another chance that they would have to block a field goal, attempt to block a field goal, whatever it is, they were going to utilize that knowledge. And unfortunately for Denver, it worked for the Chiefs. Why? Because they saw something. Forsyth was back on his heels. He wasn't leaning forward. He wasn't stationed accordingly with his legs and his feet and his hands. And when the Chiefs had that bull rush, knocked Forsyth on his butt and backside, and the Chiefs were able to block the potential game-winning field goal that would have given the Chiefs their very first loss, and the Broncos would have gone to 6-4 instead of 5-5. That's the difference. Forsyth, in my opinion, needs to go. He has been horrible all year. This has been a pattern. It's kind of like Garrett Bowles of yesteryear, even somewhat this year. Constantly penalties, holding calls, constantly hand to the face, whatever. These guys are not disciplined enough. These guys are not professional enough. They need to go. I don't want to see Forsyth on this team come this Sunday. I don't want to see him on that line come this Sunday. I don't want to see Garrett Bowles this Sunday. But unfortunately, I'm probably going to see both. But both don't need to be there. Both don't deserve to be there because they're not good enough and professional enough and disciplined enough to be there. Forsyth was the main reason why we lost this game. Sure, you can go back and chastise the referees, which we all do. Say the Chiefs have favoritism. I even heard a hot mic where Patrick Mahomes looked at one of the officials and said, "Hey, can you warn me when they get close enough?" Seriously? You don't think there's a little bit of connection between the Chiefs and the referees? Yeah, right. But at the same time, you got to be better. You can't give the Chiefs an inch because the referees are going to take it a mile. You can't do that. And Forsyth was outmatched 100% in the entire game. Chiefs did not use it earlier on. They didn't want to tip the hat. They waited. And you know what? One of the guys at the golf course where I work was a Broncos fan, pointed this out and made perfect sense. The Chiefs have a really good head coach. They have a great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. They have the referees on their side. They have a really good defense, and they have a really good tight end. It's you got to beat them in all facets. And when you're playing the Chiefs, it's hard enough. But when you have to play the Chiefs and the referees, it makes it even harder. But this game didn't really come down to the referees, guys. It really didn't. Say what you want early on. That's all well and good. But the Broncos had a chance to win this game. It didn't come down to a bad call by the referees. It came down to a bad coaching decision to have Forsyth in there, a bad person in there that doesn't know how to set himself up. And that's what it came down to. You can't pin that on the referees. We can't pin that on Patrick Mahomes. But we can pin it on Alex Forsyth. And I'm sorry, guys, that guy needs to go. Period. Don't want to see him against Atlanta. Don't want to see him. I got a feeling he'll be in there, but I don't want to see him. All right, let's go back to the chat real quick. Glad to see you guys in there. But woohoo, USA, freaking guy. You want me to play that? All right, I'll go to that real quick. Hold on, guys. How do I do this? I'm going to go to it real quick. How do I do this? I don't, I thought I clicked on it. Here we go. Oh, it's not giving it to me. I don't know how to do it, guys. I really don't. I don't do this stuff. Madungus Creevy does this stuff, man. But anyways, so that's what it says. Honk USA, whatever. Okay. Big E Bronco says, how you doing tonight, Bill? I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Glad you're in the chat. Glad to see you. Thank you so much, Big E Bronco, for stopping in. Really do appreciate it on a Friday night. And so many other things going on. Holidays are around the season, around the corner. I just can't believe it. Thanksgiving, like I mentioned at the beginning, Thanksgiving 2 weeks from yesterday. Wow. Dang, Big E said he's been working 12 to 14-hour days. Holy smokes, dude. Slow down, man. Slow down. Life's too short. I know work's important, but take it easy, man. Take it easy. Sport Media 100 says, I'm expecting Bo Nix 200 plus passing yards, talking about Atlanta. Audric Estime, anytime touchdown. Broncos, Are you talking ML for middle linebacker and Bo Nix under 1.5 passing TDs? Broncos ML. What's ML? Broncos. Fill me in on what's ML. Bo Nix under 1.5. So you don't think Bo Nix is going to throw 2 touchdowns, but you think he's going to throw 200 plus passing yards, and Audric Estime is going to score a touchdown. So are you saying the Broncos are only going to score 14 points? So just throwing that out there, sports media. Just wanting to get your idea. Madungus Creevy chimed in and says, I blame the offense in the second half. You can't score no points the entire second, obviously, and then blame the loss on one player on one play. Okay, I understand where you're coming from, Madungus, but the issue is this. Even if you don't score the points, but you're within striking distance of winning, and that's all part of the game. There's 3 facets to the game. Offense, defense, special teams. They all play a part. So sometimes you're not going to have a game where the offense is going to be spectacular. Sometimes you're not going to have a game where the defense is going to be spectacular. And there's not going to be, and there may be sometimes where the special teams has to pick it up, whether it be a punt inside the 5-yard line or a long field goal or something of that nature. And that's exactly what this game came down to. Sure, the Broncos did score anything in the second half, and they could have and should have. But there were many variables. There were stupid penalties called. There were a sack of 20 yards back when Bo Nix is running 20 yards backwards. What the heck was that? That's on offense. That's not on the receiving team or the receivers. That's on Bo Nix being a rookie stupid move. There were several of those. So you take those out, and sure, the Broncos should have gotten points. But when it comes down to special teams that has to make the play, and you have a guy like Forsyth on the left side who is not carrying his weight, can't even carry a jockstrap, so to speak, and shouldn't be on the field, makes a bonehead move that cost the team a win. Now, that's not a guaranteed field goal, but you have to let Lux kick it because you don't know if he would have made it or not. But when Forsyth went down like a bowling pin and got steamrolled, and the ball was and the kick was blocked, no one knows if Lux would have made it. Nobody knows. So that's why I say it's his fault, because he was the weak link in the chain that the Broncos had created that whole game. And if he holds his own and keeps the defender out, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you Lux makes that kick and the Broncos win the game and the Chiefs get their first loss. But that didn't happen because Forsyth is a bowling pin. Gets knocked over. Whew, see ya. Yeah, pathetic. That's why I blame him. Should the Broncos have scored more points or scored some points in the fourth quarter? Absolutely. Sometimes that's not the way the game goes. All 3 facets of the game. And when it comes down to crunch time and one of those 3 facets has to step up, they have to step up. Didn't happen in this one because the weakest link caused the game to be lost. All right, let me go on. Let's see. Sport Media Winner says money line or team to win. Wow, okay. I would vote for team to win, not money line. I don't understand all of that betting stuff. I'm not a betting guy. I don't like throwing my money away, so to speak. I always want something for my money. If I go to the store and I put stuff in my basket and I give the clerk the money, I get the stuff to take home. If I'm betting and I put down 25, 50, $100, whatever on something, I'm not guaranteed of getting something back. See that I know that's why they call it gambling, but that's why I don't like it, because I don't like to give money away and not getting something back. That's just me. I don't like that. I don't like that a bit. My wife, she likes the casinos and stuff. I don't do that. I just say, I'll walk around, watch people play in the craps or stuff like that, and look at them and go, yeah, okay, well, yeah. And then watch people put down $100 bill or whatever. And I'm like, fudge, $100. I ain't touching that. No way, man. Give me, hey, you want to throw your money away? Give me the $100. I'll take the $100. Don't worry about it. You're going to lose it anyways. Just give it to me. I can't do that. I just can't do that. Just can't do that. All right. Let's move on. I was just going over this last night. Thought it was kind of cool. At the beginning of the season, at the beginning of any season, I always do my predictions, and I'll bring a guest on the show, and we'll do prediction. We'll run down the topics and things like that, or not topics, but the games that the Broncos will be playing. And we try and predict what not the score, but who's going to win the game, just straight up. And then tally it up at the end and see where we are. So after 10 games of this season, I was looking at my predictions, and I thought, this is interesting. So let me put up my predictions. Well, let me do it after I say this part, and I'll put it up. All right, here we go. At the beginning of the season, Eric Qualls and I did a prediction show. Now, Eric Qualls is a huge Bronco fan. He plays golf regularly at the golf course. So he's been wanting to be on the show. And he's like, man, I really would love to be on your show. So I brought him on at the beginning of the season. We did the Broncos prediction show. I continue. I said Denver would be 9-8. Eric said the Broncos would be 11-6. Of the remaining games, which are 7, I have Denver winning games against the Raiders, Colts, Chargers, and Chiefs. I also have them losing to the Falcons, Browns, and Bengals. Remember, this is at the beginning of the season. I'm not necessarily thinking they're going to lose those games or win those games. But let me continue. If any of those combinations work out, I will have nailed it with a 9-8 record. Let me show you guys. I'm going to put this up here. See if it can be seen real quick. See on there? Let me get it focused right there. Raiders, Browns, Colts. Okay, Falcons, Raiders, Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. You see where it says wins and losses, right? Now, if any combination of those wins and or losses equate to 4 more wins and 3 more losses, I will have predicted the Broncos at 9-8 before the season started. Now, am I saying I'm a guru? No. I'm just saying that's what I thought at the beginning of the season. So far, it's trending in that direction. Thought it was kind of interesting that I'm right on track. And by the way, for just to let you guys know, I've never predicted an exact record ever before. So this is the closest that I'm coming to so far, that I'm coming to predicting an actual accurate record for the end of the season. So I think that's pretty cool. All right. We have to pay tribute, or I want to pay tribute to a legendary head coach in the NFL, legendary head coach in college, and that person is John Robinson. Here it is. Former USC and LA Rams head coach John Robinson has passed away at the age of 89. Robinson passed away last Monday from complications of pneumonia. Robinson's USC record is a remarkable 104 wins, 35 losses, and 4 ties. Holy smokes. 104, 35, and 4. That is incredibly remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Many championships, Rose Bowl games and playoff games of that nature, of winning those games. And just an incredible head coach. Robinson is survived by his wife, Beverly, his 4 children, 2 stepchildren, and 10 grandchildren. A celebration of life will be held following the college football season of 2024. Wow. Wow. John Robinson, age 89, a remarkable head coach in not only the pros, but more importantly in college with USC. An outstanding head coach who knew the game, studied the game, was a student of the game, and a master of the game. John Robinson, may you rest in peace. What a remarkable, incredible head coach. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. Next topic, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is just doing remarkable things as a rookie quarterback. He doesn't even look like a rookie quarterback. He doesn't play like a rookie quarterback. And that's what everybody was saying, that at age 24, that he was going to be the most NFL ready of any quarterback coming out in the draft, this past draft in April. That's very true. And he continues to get better. Absolutely continues to get better. Let me bring you this. Where does Bo Nix stand in the rankings by ESPN's quarterback rankings after week 10? After week 3, ESPN's quarterback ranking had Bo Nix at a quarterback rating of 54.4. After 10 games, he has a quarterback ranking of 82.9. Wow. That is a huge jump in 7 games. He's ahead of Jared Goff, Justin Fields, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, and Gardner Minshew. Now, we have to take some people out of the equation here, okay? First off, Justin Fields is benched behind Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. Geno Smith, so-so in Seattle. Aaron Rodgers, not so good in New York. Dak Prescott, he's out for the season with a hamstring injury. Caleb Williams, another rookie. And Gardner Minshew, not so much. Jared Goff, okay, he's ahead of Jared Goff. Now, Jared Goff is a veteran. Well, all these guys are, but except Caleb Williams. But Jared Goff's a veteran, but he's a solid veteran. So to be ahead of Jared Goff, to me, that's a good measuring stick. That's a really good measuring stick. I like that a lot. The Broncos are seeing their rookie quarterback develop in a very big way. No doubt about it. Every week he's getting better. Every week Bo Nix is getting better. Can you imagine what this is going to be like next year? Can you imagine Bo Nix after a year under his belt? A full year off season under Sean Payton, the experience he's gotten this year so far, and we got 7 games left. Wow. I'm telling you guys, man, I can't wait. We still got 7 games left. Guys, we still got 7 games. Who knows what could happen in those 7 games? We can make giant leaps, man, towards the playoffs. We can have a winning record. Would be the first time in 8 years. Oh, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I don't want to get overly excited. I really don't. I was that way last year. I don't want to be that again this year. But man, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. All right, let's go back to the comments. Darren is in the chat. He says, I want to see us have a 100-yard running back this week. I do too. Thanks so much, Darren, for chiming in on chat. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up, like button, subscribe button. It would help tremendously on both MHRT Network and my channel, Broncos Breakdown. Look for that. Look for that right there on YouTube. That's my channel. Really do appreciate it. Darren, I want to see a 100-yard running back as well. If we can get Andre Estime 100 yards rushing, that'd be fantastic. That means the Broncos are controlling the ball. That means we're keeping the Falcons and Kirk Cousins off the field, and all those weapons that they have at receivers. We'll keep them off the field. The Broncos will be moving the ball down the field, which is exactly what we want to do. Score touchdowns, not just field goals, but we need touchdowns. So yeah, I look for that as well. I think that would be a great move. It's be something that the Broncos need to do: run the clock, control the ball, keep the Falcons off the field, and the Broncos should come away with a win. All right, this is a resignation from an assistant head coach in Mike Westhoff. Here it is. 76-year-old Mike Westhoff, assistant head coach to Sean Payton, has resigned due to health issues. Last week, Westhoff began having vision issues and underwent an MRI. After talking to Sean Payton, Westhoff has had this to say: "It's not easy to make this decision, but this was a wake-up call to put my health first. This team is headed in the right direction with a strong foundation and a winning culture. I'm grateful to Sean Payton for giving me the opportunity to contribute to the first-class organization, and I wish the Broncos the very best." End quote. Westhoff resigns effectively last Monday. He has resigned due to health issues, his vision, whatever else may be going on. But I wish Mike Westhoff all the best. Wish him a recovery, healthy recovery from whatever issues he's experiencing. He's left the Broncos in good hands. They're in the right direction, as he said. And it's just unfortunate that he won't be there to see the results of his efforts. But he definitely is there in spirit. And I would dare say maybe some phone call consultations or comments and whatnot he may be making to Sean Payton throughout the rest of the year. I don't know. Just wish him all the best, whatever he's going through. Wish him, like I said, wish him all the best. Just unfortunate at this point in time, but the Broncos will be fine. They'll move on. Things will, he left them in good hands. Put it that way. Left them in good hands. All the best to Mike Westhoff. All right, John Gruden has a new gig. John Gruden had a new gig. John Gruden was a head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a head coach of the Vegas Raiders. And now he's got a new gig. Head coach? No. Anywhere in the NFL? No. But he did land a multi-year deal with, it looks like a sports, not memorabilia, but sports, memorabilia, I guess you could say, but it has to do with podcasts, it looks like. Here it is. Former Tampa Bay and Vegas head coach John Gruden has signed a multi-year deal with Barstool Sports. The details of the contract were not disclosed at this time, but I did look up Barstool Sports. It looks like it has to do with sweatshirts, sports things related to podcasts, different things you could have on. Maybe it's where you could create your own sweatshirts, your own shorts, your own hats, whatever. That's all well and good. I don't know if he's going to have part ownership. I don't know what it is. Didn't detail that. I don't know if it's just going to be commercial side of it, promotional side of it. I don't know. But John Gruden is still in the sports industry, sports world somewhere out there. It just happens to be right now at Barstools Sports. So you guys are interested, look it up, Barstools Sports. And John Gruden is now, in my opinion, the face of the company because he just signed a multi-year deal with them. All right? Okay. The Denver Broncos ownership group wants to put Broncos safety first. And after watching the field at Arrowhead Stadium that looked like a golf course where they had just aerated the greens and you have all these holes and plugs everywhere and whatnot, that's not good for, athletes' cleats getting stuck in a hole and twisting an ankle, tearing an ACL, Achilles, hamstring, whatever. The Broncos ownership group has done it again. Here we go. Once again, the Broncos ownership group have installed new turf in the middle of the season for player safety. This isn't cheap, but the Walton Penner ownership group prioritizes player safety and giving the team everything they need to succeed. It will be ready for this Sunday's game against the Atlanta Falcons at Mile High. That's fantastic. The Broncos ownership group, Walton Penner ownership group, they will not skimp on player safety. They've redone the turf at Dove Valley. They're redoing their whole practice facility over there and make it safer, more user-friendly or athletic-friendly to the knees, the ankles, the legs, whatever it is. They're looking into these different ways to make player safety even that much better. But after that Kansas City game and that field that was torn up from some high school playoff games or college games or whatever, the Broncos looked at that and said, no, our field looks bad. Our field doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look pristine. So they were able to recreate, take out the old, redo the dirt, put in new sod in 36 hours. That is amazing. A day and a half, 36 hours. So obviously they went overtime. I mean, they went night and day. And well, of course they can do that. They got stadium lights. They can do it night and day. And they did it. And it will be ready for this Sunday's game in 2 days at Mile High against the Atlanta Falcons. Brand new turf. And it's Kentucky Bluegrass, if I'm not mistaken. It's beautiful, beautiful turf, beautiful field. And it's going to look immaculate. By the way, Madungus Creevy and I will not be doing the Broncos neighborhood this Sunday because Madungus Creevy and his two boys are going to be at Mile High Stadium for the game against the Atlanta Falcons and the return of Justin Simmons, of which I will get into in this very last topic. But yes, Madungus Creevy and his boys will be at Mile High Stadium. So therefore, I and he will not be doing the Broncos neighborhood. That will be done by Johnny Baki and one of his co-hosts. They will be doing Broncos neighborhood. And Madungus Creevy and I will return the following week for the Broncos neighborhood against the Vegas Raiders. Okay, so they have brand new turf for this Sunday. Hopefully it brings good karma and the Broncos win the game. And they send Justin Simmons back to Atlanta on a very, very sad note. I love Justin Simmons. I wish he was still on the Broncos. I do expect them being the Broncos organization, to give a very, very welcome tribute video. I expect that 100%. I hope it's shown on the pregame. I don't know if it will be, but I would love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. All right, guys, before I get into the last topic, thanks so much once again, each and every one of you, for being here, chiming in on the chat. Also, watching, listening, or wherever you may be. Really do appreciate it on a very, very busy Friday heading into a weekend. You guys are getting close. Everybody's getting closer and closer to the holidays. I really do appreciate you taking the time out on, like I said, on a very busy weekend heading into Thanksgiving here in the next week. A little over a week, almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. Thanks, guys. Really do appreciate it. Let's get into the last topic. That is the Broncos and the Falcons this Sunday at Mile High Stadium. The return of Justin Simmons, the very first time in his entire NFL career where he will not be suiting up in the home locker room, but suiting up in the visitors' locker room, of which I've been in because I took the tour at Mile High Stadium in 2017. But it still is a very, very nice locker room. But there'll be the first time for Justin Simmons to be in that locker room, and for the first time coming out onto the field wearing a different uniform, not to the Broncos home fans, although there's going to be a lot of fans cheering for Justin Simmons. I will as well, just not wanting him to make game deciding plays. If he gets the interception, that's fine. Just don't have it turn into points. But I do expect a very, very heartwarming welcome back to Denver by the fans of Broncos country, giving him the welcome back. And thanks so much for everything you've done for Denver. Just wish you all the best. Just not necessarily in this game. All right, let's get into that right now. Before we do, let's hit the comments real quick. Okay. Adister, I don't want to pronounce your last name or your handle name wrongly, so I'll just say Adister says, Barstool Sports is a sports and pop culture blog covering the latest news and viral highlights of each and every day with blogs, videos, and podcasts. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much, Adister. Really do appreciate it. I'm not really up on that, hip on that, but I thought if John Gruden's getting in on something like this, I mean, he's got to be doing it for all the right reasons for him. But thanks for enlightening me on that. Really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for chiming in. Thanks so much for being a first timer. Really do appreciate it. Thank you once again so much for that insight information as to what Barstool Sports is. Thanks. All right. Last topic, Broncos, Falcons, and Justin Simmons returns. Now, Justin Simmons returns, like I mentioned, on the visitor side, but I really do have to believe he's going to get a really heartwarming welcome. I would even dare say a standing ovation. That would not be far-fetched. I mean, I'd give him a standing ovation if I was at the game. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. The Atlanta Falcons are 6-4. The Denver Broncos are 5-5. Denver holds the number 3rd spot on the AFC West, and the Atlanta Falcons hold the number 1 or the 1st spot. They're leading in the AFC South, or NFC South. Do I think the Falcons will win this game? Do I think the Broncos will win this game? Well, Denver's at home. They're coming off a hard loss last week. Well, so is Atlanta. Atlanta's coming off a tough loss. Denver's coming off of a gut-wrenching loss. Will they have a hangover going into this week? I don't think so. I don't think Sean Payton will allow that. I think they're going to be really focused. But the Atlanta Falcons have a lot of weapons in receivers. They have Kirk Cousins, first year in Atlanta. He's doing well. Like I said, they're 6-4. Have they been a solid 6-4? No, they struggled, but so are the Broncos at 5-5. Broncos have weapons as well. They have Estime as a running back. They have Cortland Sutton, wide receiver. They have Vele, tight end. They have Lil Jordan Humphrey, wide receiver. They have Mims, wide receiver. They have Nick Bonitto, linebacker. They have PJ Locke, safety. They have Pat Surtain II, corner. Equal on both sides. Is this going to be a blowout game? No way, shape, or form. Not a chance. Not a chance. I don't see this being a blowout game at all. Atlanta has a solid defense, and they got solid offense. Same with the Broncos. Solid defense, solid offense. Something has to give. Are the Broncos going to go to 6-5 and drop the Falcons to 6-5? Or are the Falcons going to go to 7-4 and drop the Broncos to 5-6? Well, on my predictions, like I showed earlier, and I'll put it back up, if you look at the Falcon one, real close, I have it as a loss. Right here. Right. Well, let me go here. Right. Come on, guys. Right there. Right there, I have it as a loss. See the L? I have it as a loss. And that was before the Broncos played their first, 10 games. I don't quite see it that way now. Here's what I say. Broncos need 3 points. In order for the Broncos to win this game, they have to have these 3 points happen. They have to control the ball, run the clock, run Estime, run the clock. Okay? 2, they have to pin the Falcons deep. If they have to punt, they got to pin them deep, inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5. They got to pin them deep. And thirdly, they have to play defense like they did against the Chiefs. You've got to blitz. You've got to take out Kirk Cousins. You've got to make him feel pressure, just like Patrick Mahomes felt pressure. You got to do the exact same thing to Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins can't run like Patrick Mahomes, but he will do his best to escape. You have to close it down. You cannot let him get out of the pocket. You can't let him check down to second, third, fourth check down. You can't allow that to happen. You got to close it and close it quickly. You can't allow these receivers to have, multiple seconds to get open because Kirk Cousins will find him. Nix and Bonitto has to be solid. Pat Surtain has to cover the receivers. P.J. Locke has to have a shutdown safety because you have to shut down the Falcons' offensive weapons. If you do that, you have a great chance of taking control of the game. Now, on the flip side, the Broncos have to run the ball. They have to use Estime. They have to continually get first downs, not third and long, not second long. You've got to make it second and mid, or it's third and short. You've got to. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day. Broncos can't have that. The Atlanta Falcons have way too many weapons on offense. Kirk Cousins is well seasoned at quarterback. He's not a fantastic quarterback, but he's a manager of the game, and he gets it. You have to neutralize him, just like you had to neutralize Patrick Mahomes, which the Broncos did. You've got to have the same type of game plan for Kirk Cousins that you had for Patrick Mahomes. The only difference is Patrick Mahomes is a magician. Kirk Cousins isn't quite that guy. But you still have to neutralize him because Kirk Cousins is good. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. And he does understand what he needs to do. And he understands the game. And he has weapons to make that happen. All right, before I give you my prediction, let me go to the chat again. Kamani Dixon, what is up, my friend? He says, Bill, I said, what's up, Kamani? Hey, D-Rock says, Big Bill. I say, what's up, Big D-Rock? Kamani follows up by saying, I know I'm late, but go, bro. Hey, it's all good, dude. It's all good. As long as you show up, chat, whether it's live or you go back and watch it once the show's over, and you can go catch it on the MHRT network on YouTube or my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. The only difference is you're not going to get the interaction from me because it's already been recorded. So thanks so much for chiming in. It's all great, Kamani. I really do appreciate you guys. Kamani, D-Rock, Darren, Adister, we'll get to all you guys when I go down the list one more time before we get out of here. Kamani Dixon says he has the Broncos winning 30-17. I also have the Falcons scoring 17, but I don't have the Broncos at 30. My prediction for the Broncos-Falcons game this Sunday, Mile High Stadium, brand new turf, raucous crowd. Justin Simmons coming back to Denver for the first time as a visiting player. I have the Broncos beating the Falcons 23-17. 23-17 Denver. Even though at the beginning of the season I predicted that the Broncos would lose this game, that was only because I didn't know how the Broncos would play with rookie Bo Nix and all that. But I have since changed it to the Broncos winning this game 23-17. All right, before I get out of here, guys, once again, thank each and every one of you for being a part of the show, whether you're watching, listening, in the chat, and whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for taking out an hour and a few seconds of your time on this Friday, right before a busy weekend that you guys are planning. Thanksgiving is around the corner. We thank you so much again, guys, for being part of the show. Without you, this show would not be anywhere close to what it is. You guys, everywhere you are the backbone. I'm letting you know, you're the backbone of this show each and every week. And because of that, I always want to go down and just give a shout out again to every one of those who are in the chat, because you're taking out your time to comment, to chat, to be part of the interaction of the show. I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that. So let me go right down the list real quick. Batting leadoff was Mudungus Creevy, followed by Big E Bronco. Thank you so much, Big E and Mudungus. Sports Media 100, thank you so much. Darren, first timer, thank you so much. Alistair, thank you so much for your explanation of Barstool Sports. Thank you so much. Kamani, Dixon, D-Rock, thank you guys. Really, really do appreciate you each and every week taking out the time to listen to this crazy 66-year-old guy talk about Broncos and other sports. You guys are the best. D-Rock says 2022 Denver. Woo, that's a different score. All right, we'll take that. I'll take that. No, I'll take a Bronco win anytime. Kamani follows up by saying, we love you, Bill. Love my Friday night with you. Kamani, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it. Seriously, that's heartfelt, man. That really is heartfelt. And, I put a lot of effort into doing these shows. I put a lot of effort into getting the topics and trying to find some of the topics that are not necessarily on the mainstream of sports headlines. I try and dive into things that are not so readily known. And I really do appreciate your comments, your faithfulness for being here each and every week. I know you guys are busy. I know you have families. I know you have things going on. Really, really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. I've said it many, many times. I'll continue to say it. I love doing what I do. I love talking sports. I love interacting with you guys. I feel like it's family. I feel like I know you guys, even though I haven't officially met each and every one of you or any of you. I really do treat you guys as family and friends. And I seriously, I miss you when you're not here. I really miss you guys when you're not here. I do. I look for certain names, for certain people, certain faces, certain comments. And I really do cherish it. I don't take it for granted. Absolutely do not take it for granted. You guys have many, many choices out there to watch, listen, and be part of any show. I'm just honored and blessed beyond words that you guys take the time out to be part of this show. Thank you so very, very, very much. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. It means the world to MHRT Network, as well as my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Thank you so much. Like I said, I don't take any of this for granted. I appreciate each and every person that is here. Before I get out of here, one last thing. Kamai said, yes, Bill, you know me, you, my papa and son-in-law. It's just, oh my gosh, Kamai, you crack me up, man. You are the best. You guys are the best. Absolutely 1,000%. All right, guys, we have shows each and every day of the week, Monday through Friday. We also have Broncos Neighborhood this Sunday. It won't be Mudungus and myself. Mudungus Creevy is going to be at the Bronco game with his two sons on Sunday. Therefore, we're handing it off to our backup commentators. That is going to be Johnny Bakke and one of his co-hosts. Not sure who, but it's not going to be Mudungus Creevy and myself, Bronco Bill. However, we will be there for the Raider game the following Sunday. So check us out then. Until, guys, like I say, shows Monday through Friday. Broncos Breakdown next Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8, live wherever you may be, where in this country or around this world. Check it out next Friday, Broncos Breakdown. Till then, guys, have a fantastic rest of your Friday evening, and we will see you the following Friday. But watch the Broncos' important game against the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. Until then, guys, take care. Have a fantastic rest of the week and weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame out. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the car, so that's why it's